Hey everyone, it's Erin from the Joy Tribe. I'm so excited that you're here, whether it's your first time or you have been a follower of mine for a while. I'm so happy that you landed here. So thank you. I wanted to share a bit about my story. I know that I touched on it in a few videos previously, but I wanted to share some new insights and a new program that I'm actually launching that might interest you because I want to start incorporating more imagination, more fantasy, and things that I'm truly passionate on this channel. Life is too short to be serious all the time. So I really wanted my channel to reflect that. So let's get started with how this all came about because you're probably wondering what the hell is an inner adventure? Well, for me, an inner adventure is going on a journey to discovering yourself. And an inner journey can be anything from going through a divorce, maybe you're going through a job loss, whatever that is, it's rediscovering and reimagining yourself. So, how did this all start for me? Well, it started when I was pretty young because I have always been a big fan of fantasy and fairy tale. I was a Disney kid. That might be why my thoughts about love have been a little bit screwed up. But, anyways, a lot of the things that I really enjoyed doing were reading fantasy novels, writing fantasy stories, and just really engaging in my own imagination. I mean, my sisters and I used to play fairies by the creek, and we used to pretend that we were conjuring the storms that were coming. I mean, that's a little out there, but that's what I loved doing as a kid. And so as I grew older and got into the stage where I could play video games, I really got into the fantasy strategy games like Final Fantasy and specifically Tomb Raider. And the reason why I gravitated to this game is because, I mean, Tomb Raider is one badass bitch. She goes through her life and on an adventure. She's going out there and fighting those demons, fighting those dragons and those bad guys, and she is doing all the things. She's confident, she's brave, she's courageous, and she's sexy. I had truly looked up to this character because she was everything that I wasn't. She was confident, she was courageous, and I mean, I was over here as a quiet art kid playing games. And I wished that I could have the outgoingness and the drive and the courage that she had. So playing these games actually made me feel like I could become her. So flash forward to my 30s, I was dating someone for 7 years. I ended up getting married to this person and getting divorced. I have a whole video on that if you want to see. But after my divorce, and like many of you have experienced, you lose your identity a bit. You don't know who you are because you invested so much of your identity and your life in another person, and maybe that is also kids or, whatever that life looks like. Your identity was meshed together with it. So when you get out of a relationship like that and you try to figure out who you are, it's a little bit jarring because you don't really know what you like. You don't know what you like in terms of food. You might not know what you like to do for hobbies. So when I got out of that relationship and I moved to downtown Toronto and I got my own apartment, I was really feeling discouraged. But Halloween came around and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna dress up as Tomb Raider. And I was a full-grown adult woman at 35, I believe, and I was just loving it. I got the plastic guns, I had the holster, I had the braid, obviously, I had the whole getup, and even the big combat boots. And when I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, whoa, I feel so powerful. And I'm like, why can't I feel like this all the time? And that was the question I asked myself that completely changed the game for me. And that is what started my own inner adventure, where I decided to become the heroine in my own life, take responsibility and take ownership for who I was becoming and what I did in my life. That's when I came up with the idea of the Joy Tribe and how I wanted to help people be the hero in their own story and do the things that maybe scare them, but do them anyway if it's something that you really want to do or gives you joy. And that's the other thing too, is giving yourself permission to do the things that you love, whatever that means. Maybe it is reading fantasy novels, which is what I still do. And maybe it is playing video games, maybe it's art, maybe it's running, maybe it is pickleball. Apparently that's a thing now. Maybe it is going for nature walks. Maybe it is writing. Whatever that is for you, you get to choose. And as you do these things, you start to realize what you like and what you don't like. And you can start building your life around that. You can start finding out who you are, what you want, what you value. And then if you are going through a breakup or divorce, that's what defines who you are and how you show up and how you want your life to look. So that way, when you are looking for a partner, if they don't align with who you are and where you want to go in your life, that's an easy no. And maybe this is the first time you're feeling this kind of courage, but that's good because you're living in your truth and you're making decisions for you. Finally, for the first time, I know that for a lot of my life, I looked for approval from other people, my parents, my friends. Am I making a right decision? And a lot of the time I would make decisions because I thought that's what I should do. And getting married was another thing where I made a decision because I thought that was what I was supposed to do. I thought this was what my life was supposed to look like, that my person was going to be someone who checks the boxes of what society says is a successful partner or a successful relationship. When deep down, I knew that this person wasn't right. So I want to share this with you in this idea of becoming the hero of your own adventure and sharing my story, which I'll be sharing more of that as we go along, and my love of fantasy and adventure. But I really want to let you know that you have permission to live life how you want it. And you can allow people in your life to enhance that. And if something doesn't feel right to you or good to you, explore that. It could be other things like anxiety and all of that, but I think if you build a strong enough relationship with yourself, that you are going to start feeling better and feeling more aligned with your choices. And you're not going to have so much uncertainty and indecision with what that is. What would your inner heroine do? Or what would your inner hero do? And start there. See what comes up and see what decisions maybe feel a little bit easier because you are making that choice from an empowered place. The other thing that I want to mention, just a quick promo for my new series, which is the 7-day inner adventure meditation series, where it's actually part choose your own adventure, part nervous system reset, where I take you through the hero's journey or the heroine's journey as you go through getting the call, finding your mentor, facing those dragons, and then finally coming home to yourself. In each of these levels, each of these chapters, you're going to learn something new about yourself, which is the most magical part. So thank you so much for showing up today. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, great. I hope that you take and do one thing for yourself. Also, if you want a little step and not necessarily going into an entire inner adventure, I have a enter your heroine era journal prompts. I believe there's about 7, as well as helping you define your own inner heroine character. So that could be, maybe it's not Tomb Raider for you. Maybe it a movie actor or actress. Maybe that is someone that you look up to in your life that you admire. Maybe that is a cartoon character or a video game character. Whoever that is for you, this guide will help you uncover that and define that. And so that way, whenever you're in a hard spot, you can use this heroine character energy to move through that moment. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.